Hello and welcome to this short presentation on how to promote emotional intelligence in children. In the next few minutes, you'll be learning how to use what is known as the ruler model to promote your child's emotional intelligence using a resource I believe should be in every home already. And this knowledge will make a huge difference in you and your child's life in ways you can never imagine. I hope you are as excited as I am. Let's dive straight in. Emotional intelligence is so important that several studies have proven that having a high level of emotional intelligence is crucial to success and growth in work, social, and personal life. Children with higher level of emotional intelligence perform better in school, become better team members and leaders. A higher level of emotional intelligence also promotes one's conflict resolution skills. It helps one in making new and maintaining old relationships. And having a high level of emotional intelligence is relevant in the decision-making process. And guess what? Some of the biggest companies and schools in the world test their prospective employees or students' level of emotional intelligence before recruiting them or before giving them admission to study with them. So what exactly is emotional intelligence? According to a book written by Peter Salovey, a professor at Yale University, and his colleague Meyer in 1990, emotional intelligence is defined as a set of skills associated with monitoring one's own and other people's emotion and the ability to use emotions to guide one's thinking and actions. In simple terms, emotional intelligence is a person's ability to be aware, to recognize, to describe, to understand his or her emotion and the emotion of others. And it also involves the ability to control and express one's emotion in socially acceptable and appropriate ways. Lastly, it involves the ability to empathize with others. The good news is that emotional intelligence is an ongoing developmental process. What this means is that your child is not born an expert at self-regulation, at identifying his or her emotions and acting accordingly. But this affords you the opportunity to engage your child in activities that would promote his or her emotional intelligence irrespective of his or her age. And I'll be showing you how to do just that if you stick around long enough. But first, what are the implications of having a low level of emotional intelligence? Children that have low level of emotional intelligence might have problem expressing their emotions in socially acceptable ways. Such children may have difficulties with making friends and with socializing. Children with low level of emotional intelligence may have learning difficulties. Children with low level of emotional intelligence may end up becoming bullies, whether deliberately or not, because they wouldn't know, or sometimes they don't even care how their actions, words, and gestures make other people feel. And ultimately, such children may become abusive and insensitive bosses, employees, co-workers, parents, and partners when they grow up to become adults. Now, as a parent, I definitely don't want that future for my child. And I'm sure you don't want that for yours too, right? So this is why I put up this presentation to help as much parents as I can out there to learn how to promote emotional intelligence in their children. And this brings me to exactly how can you promote emotional intelligence in your child. So Brackett and Rivers published an article in 2014 titled Transforming Students' Life with Social and Emotional Learning. In that article, they developed the ruler model. This model has 5 skills that need to be taught in order to increase emotional intelligence in children. Letter R stands for recognizing emotions in oneself and in others. Letter U is for understanding the causes and consequences of emotions. Letter L is for labeling emotions correctly. And letter E is for expressing emotions in ways that are appropriate for the time, space, and culture. Lastly, letter R is for regulating emotions. And I'll be showing you how to use the ruler model during read aloud. But before I do that, I would like to refresh your memory on the importance of reading to your child from the very first day of his or her life. And like I do say, even before birth, if it is possible. Are you shocked? Well, do not be shocked, Mama, because studies have shown that the hearing organs are one of the first to be developed in the very early stages of pregnancy. So reading to your child from the very onset is the best, okay? So reading to your child helps feeds your child imagination, creativity, and gives him a broader perspective of the world. Reading to your child is one of the best ways you can bond with her, as you both learn new amazing things from her book together. Reading helps to promote receptive and expressive communication skills in children, because as your child listens, he gets an idea of how language works. New words are being added to his vocabulary bank, and is able to repeat those words with you as he grows older. The last benefit I would like to mention in this presentation is that reading to your child helps to develop emotional intelligence in your child, because a lot of books written for children address topics like emotions and socially acceptable behaviors. An example is the picture on this page, which is from the book Who is Happy? Throughout the book, you and your child are meant to find what person is showing a particular emotion and why. Even in books that are not outrightly about teaching children emotions, you can always draw a lesson or two about emotions from them. An example is this picture, right, which is from the book Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You would notice that Daddy Bear is angry, Mommy Bear is sad, and Baby Bear is crying. All these are emotions. So having talked about how books directly or indirectly teach children about emotion, I'll go further to show you how to promote emotional intelligence in children. Now let's move on to a short demonstration of how I would use the ruler model on a page from the Hippo is Happy book. Remember, the first letter is R, which stands for recognizing the emotions. Here are some questions I would ask. How do you think Hippo is feeling? Why do you think she's feeling sad? Can you show Mommy a sad face? And here are some possible answers you could get from your child. I think Hippo is sad because she's wearing a sad face and she's not smiling. And this is my sad face. Your child goes on to make his own or her own sad face, right? The next is letter U, which stands for understanding the emotions. Again, here are some questions you could ask. Can you guess what made Hippo sad? Have you ever felt sad before? What makes you feel sad? Right? And again, here are some possible answers, okay? To the first question, can you guess what made Hippo feel sad? I think she's sad because she's missing her mom, she's missing her dad, her friends, right? Or she lost her book. The list is endless. Then as for the question, have you ever felt sad before? Yes, Mommy, I do feel sad sometimes. Like when I'm missing you, like when I'm missing Daddy, Grandma, when I misplace my book, when this happens, when that happens, when I'm hungry. Moving on to letter L, which stands for labeling the emotion. You can ask questions like, what is the name of this emotion? What is the color code for sadness, right? This question is applicable only if you have discussed the emotion wheel or meter previously with your child. Then you can also ask, could you draw me a sad face? Again, here are some possible responses you can get from your child. The color code for sadness is blue because it feels cold, dark, and lonely when we are sad, right? Then your child goes on to draw you a sad face. The next letter is E, which is for expressing the emotion. And again, here are some questions you could ask. How did Hippo act when she was feeling sad? What else do people do when they are feeling sad? Right? And possible answers again. She made a sad face, she wanted to cry, she did not play with anybody, and so on and so forth. And some people, they destroy things and they cry when they are sad, right? So the last R, which stands for regulating emotions, you could ask questions like, what did Hippo do when she felt sad? What could you do to help Hippo feel better, right? When you feel sad, what do you do? And again, here are some possible answers. Hippo kept to herself. She wanted to cry, right? And as for what would I do to make her feel better, I could ask her to come play with me. I could give her a hug or tell her that everything would be fine. Her mommy is coming soon. Her dad is coming soon, right? And when I feel sad, I pray to God, right? If you're a religious family, and I try to do something else to make me happy. And I always remember that my mommy loves me and she will definitely come back for me. So did you notice the level of rich and critical thinking happening with just a page from the book? Trust me, your child will definitely have to pause and think before giving you answers. And this activity would definitely open up deep conversations about emotions. And the great thing is that this activity is applicable for all age groups, right? You just have to modify and have different expectations for the different age groups. For infant and toddlers, you'll be the one asking the questions and answering them yourselves because they can't answer you just yet. And trust me, even though they can't answer you, the infant and toddlers are soaking in a lot and they can hear all what you're saying, right? And you would be amazed when they start talking. So just keep talking to yourself, okay? You'll see the benefit later. For preschoolers, they should be able to answer some of the questions with or without clues or prompts from you. And for older kids, we expect them to know the emotions already. So what you focus on is asking them what they would do to make the character feel better. So relating this activity back to the definition of emotional intelligence, which I defined earlier as the ability to identify emotions, the ability to express emotions in an appropriate manner, as well as the ability to empathize with others based on their emotions. You see that this activity helps you do exactly that. So this is the end of the presentation, and I thank you for the privilege of your time. Guess what? You are the most amazing parent out there because you took time from your busy schedule to unlearn, relearn, and learn how to promote one of the most important and crucial lifelong skills in your child. But before we call it a day, I have a challenge for you, okay? I want you to go grab a book from your child's library and practice what you have just learned, irrespective of your child's age, okay? And let me know how the experience was for you and your child. But while you are at it, I must tell you to please give your child the opportunity to share their thoughts first, okay? Just let them answer based on what they are thinking, because doing that will make you really know what your child is thinking and their level of understanding and knowledge about emotions, and you will use their answers as teachable moments, okay? So don't forget to also make it a very fun and memorable experience for you both, because it is only if you make it a fun and memorable experience for your child in particular, that your child would be interested in doing it with you next time. And trust me, if you do it well enough, the child would even come back to you next time. Mommy, this person is happy. This child is sad. Why is he sad? I think I will help him feel blah, blah, blah this way to make him feel better, right? And even though I used the sad emotion in this example, this model works well with the different types of emotions. If the character is happy, your child could make him happier. If the character is angry, your child could also suggest how to make him feel better. So trust me, this is an all-round model. Finally, if you're interested in knowing what Poppy did to make his friend feel better, you can contact me to get this book along with the other 3 books, a reward sticker and reward chart it comes with, okay? Until I come your way next time, I remain Aisha Zubair Adebayo from Kids Come First, and I am always committed to helping you play, teach, and bond with your child using fun, innovative ways with unique and high quality books for children from age 0 to 12, as well as trainings for parents, okay? If you have any questions, comments, or feedback you would like to share with me, you can keep in touch with me on Instagram at Kids Come First Nigeria or WhatsApp. My phone number is on the screen. Okay, just send me a buzz and I'll reply and we'll get chatting. Thank you and see you later.